Welcome to From Betrayal to Breakthrough. I'm Dr. Debi Silber, and today's guest is Dallisa Hocking. Have you noticed that after a betrayal, something shifts, like a switch gets flipped, and you just can't hear yourself anymore? That quiet inner voice that used to guide you, it goes silent. And whether that happened because you were too busy to listen to it or because you were afraid of what it might tell you, the result is the same. You stopped trusting yourself. Today's guest is here to help change that. Dallisa Hocking is a fifth-generation psychic medium, energy architect, and teacher of psychic development who has spent over a decade helping people reconnect with their intuition, reclaim their sovereignty, and find themselves again after their darkest chapters. In this conversation, we talk about how to tell the difference between intuition and fear, how to rebuild self-trust one small step at a time, and what the right kind of psychic or energetic session can and cannot do for someone healing from betrayal. We also talk about free will, what it means to be the star of your own story, and why the wound truly can be the place where the light enters. This one is full of wisdom, warmth, and practical tools. Here we go. Okay, everybody, I'm with Dallisa Hocking here, and I brought her on because when we've been betrayed, we either turn down our intuition, we intentionally turn it down. And there are so many amazing messages we can receive when we turn that intuition up and learn about just how psychic we can be and all the things. So welcome, Dallisa.
Oh, it's so great to be here. I know we're going to have a juicy conversation today.
Absolutely. I really want to start with the intuition piece, because when it comes to betrayal, I find that we either intentionally turn it down or we unintentionally turn it down. And by that I mean unintentionally, we're so busy. We're raising kids or working or taking care of elderly parents, whatever we have going on. So the only way we can kind of get everything done off of our never-ending to-do list is to kind of turn our intuition down so we become almost machine-like, more thinking and doing versus feeling and being. But then I also find that we can intentionally turn it down. And we do that because if we were to confront that boss, that coworker, that partner, that friend on what we intuitively feel, it's going to it's going to cause everything we've created to unravel. So I'd love to start there. Tell me what intuition means to you and what we can learn from it.
I love your explanation. I think intuition is our superpower. I think we all have it, but I think you're right. I think we can turn it up or we can turn it down depending on where we're at in our life or what we're going through. I've noticed, as somebody who teaches a lot of psychic development and how to work with your intuition, some people don't want to see anymore. Like maybe they got hurt or they were faced with something that they're like, why didn't I see this? They feel like in some ways they abandoned themselves or they didn't trust themselves and it ended up in hurt. And so they turn it down because they don't want to go through that again. I see the same thing with people that I ask, like, are you doing any meditation? Are you doing any kind of self-care with when you're sitting in meditation? And a lot of people will give me the reasons why they don't do it. But it's usually because they don't want to sit still long enough to actually see what it is that's going to come forward. And so discernment is a big word that I'm working with, over the last few years and this year is how can we have more discernment? So intuition is that voice, that feeling, that energy inside of ourselves that really does have the best of intentions. It is there to help us. But a lot of questions I've gotten are around, well, how do I know what my intuition is? How do I know if it's that versus fear? And usually your intuition is softer. It almost feels like a friend. It's usually not something you're thinking about. It's usually something that drops in to your mind or a thought that you have, and you think to yourself, I wasn't even thinking about that person. I wasn't even thinking about that situation. Like, why did that come in? That's probably your intuition trying to alert you to something. But if it feels like it has an agitation or an urgency, or it feels like it's amping you up or getting your heart rate going, it may not be intuition. It may be something connected to fear that's coming in. And so if you're feeling like you're more in that fear category, I think doing something like journaling, if you have this thought come in or this person or this situation come into your awareness and you think it might be associated more with fear, then I think you can get out some blank pages and a pen and ask, what about this am I fearful of? What am I afraid of with this? And write it all out and get it all out of your energy, your mind, body, and spirit, get it all out on paper. But if it's your intuition, my recommendation is lean into it with more curiosity. Try to see what's underneath that initial thought that comes out of nowhere. And not that you have to go seek out all of the answers, but I think if we have the intention that we're curious and that we are willing to find out what's underneath that intuitive nudge, then I think in the days and weeks to follow, we usually have an unfolding that happens where we get more of the storyline around what our intuition is trying to tell us.
I love that. And I know for me personally, it feels different. Like if it's some it just, let's say, ego or my something in my mind, it's this kind of angry, critical, little chattering voice, and it doesn't sound there's like a lot of chatter. But if it's intuition, it's usually just a few words. It's a few words, and it's this feeling that goes along with it. It's like the chatter is in my mind, and the three or four at most words, it's like a whole body experience. Is that pretty common?
It is. Some people will feel just kind of feeling go throughout their whole body.
Mhm.
An example of that could be, they're making breakfast in the morning and they're getting ready to leave for work. And they just get the sense come over them as, not to take the same route to work that morning, where they can't necessarily pinpoint, is this my mind? Is this my heart? Like, is this my stomach? Like, I can't really figure out where it's coming from, but I just have this knowingness that goes through me. That is very common. Also, some people may feel like it is a thought that just kind of drops into their head out of nowhere. So I would also pay attention and ask yourself, does this feel like it's connected to one specific part of the body? Because when we recognize what the sensation is it full body? Is it one particular spot? Usually our intuition works in the same way each time. And so when you start to notice how yours typically works within you, then you know to look for that marker, that indication in the future. And so you know that it is more of your intuition rather than the fear based thoughts or the looping thoughts that are keeping you in a state of fear or unease. But intuition usually is subtle. It's not, it doesn't usually come across as something very loud. um, I have had situations with myself and people that have, told me their stories on social media, for example, where they have actually felt an urgency with their intuition. So it's not going to be 100% of the time the same way each time, but for the most part, your signals will be pretty much the same. But if you have this, let's say you're making breakfast and you have this feeling go over you of don't drive the same way to work, and you're like, yeah, 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 gosh, I'm running late, and you get in the car and you start driving the same way to work. It might actually come in louder another time. And it may come in where it does that time feel more urgent. And it could just be because spirit's really trying to redirect you into another pathway. And so notice